Good morning, good evening, and a very good evening again. Thank you for tuning in to INCRadio Hawaii Pacific. I am Brother Joshua INCRadio Hawaii Pacific. Okay, I said the whole title. I am Brother Joshua Galang. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Nice to see you as well, Brother Manny. I said that I was going to say this in the beginning, so good evening to you, Brother Manny. He always comments down and shouts out, and he says, "Hello, Brother Josh. How are you doing?" No one else will get it, but he will get it. Shout out to you, Brother Manny. But welcome again to INCRadio Hawaii Pacific. I am Brother Josh, as I mentioned before. Nice to see you. Really good to see all of you guys here. Not only my co-host, who will introduce in a little bit, but our very, very handsome brother over there in the nice aloha shirt. We'll have him introduce himself a little bit later, but it's really great to have you here, brother.
Thank you, brother.
There you go. As I mentioned, we are not alone because there's two other people right next to me. Unless you don't see them, I see them. You see them now. But the sister next to me, could you please introduce yourself? Who are you, and how are you doing?
Happy Aloha Friday, everybody. Welcome back to another INCRadio. Wow, I'm not doing intro today, so it definitely feels weird. But I'm Sister Jana from the local congregation of Eva Beach. So nice to be back. I don't think I've been back for, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
I actually came from school.
Oh, did you? Straight from school?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
We're hanging in there.
We're hanging in there.
But it's okay. We're going to talk story today.
Mm-hmm.
Learn more about our brother right here.
There you go.
Who is about to introduce himself.
Yes.
But Brother Josh, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I am, as I was told by fellow brethren, I'm a few shades darker, and you can reference that from the previous lives. But it's not about me tonight. It's about our handsome brother there to our right. Let's have him introduce himself now. Brother, again, thank you so much for being here with us today. We're saying brother because we don't want to spoil your name. We want you to say it yourself. Let's tell us your name, where you're from, and a fun fact about yourself.
So my name is Brother Renatin Dasmurnias. My nickname is Brother Ray. I'm from Honolulu. Born and raised in Kali all my life.
Born and raised.
Kali.
There you go. And and it's so funny you mentioned this because we were actually speaking about this, brother, in the pre-show. Comment down from our brother Joshua Monaco, our minister there, or here in Hawaii Pacific. He says, "How's it, Brother Ray? My good old friend. Lots of memories from our Kadiwa days."
Exactly. We actually used to guard during the district days.
Mm.
Yeah. A lot of Halo.
Yeah,
A lot of Halo.
a lot of playing video games, late nights. I know that was a thing way back when. We always used to do that back at our chapel, back at other places we'd be at, and it's great to see that the tradition is being carried on. Tradition? Just a thing that we all do. But it's good to have you here, Brother Ray. Did you say your fun fact yet?
No.
What is your fun fact?
My fun fact is I actually like to ride motorcycles.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a really fun fact.
Yeah.
Okay, we won't say any brand names, but what style of motorcycle do you really like riding?
So I like KTMs upright.
Okay.
I don't like sports bikes.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
like for the long cruises.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't like speed. I was actually in an accident
Oh.
4 years ago, so speed is not my thing.
Mhm.
I like the long drive.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever thought about cruisers?
Not per se. Cruisers are a little slower for me.
Oh.
I need something that can kick up a little faster.
Oh, okay. You want
Yeah.
something quick,
Quick.
not super speedy, because that's not your thing.
Yeah, especially the way Hawaii drives.
Mhm.
yeah.
You gotta be quick and speed.
Very good. KTM's are very beautiful bikes. I really like them. I personally like bobbers. Bobbers are really nice. If you guys don't know what bobbers are, it's the bike that the Captain America rode in one of the movies. That's the best way I can describe it. But very cool. Really. I like motorcycles. I had my permit for a bit. Never really got to ride as much. Never full sense it. But it's really cool. You still have your own motorcycle now?
No, I downsized a little bit. Yeah.
I see. But if you had the chance to get another, would you?
I'm actually been looking at one.
Okay.
Yeah, but my wife doesn't want to let me.
That's totally understandable. Would you ever, I know some people like to ride on like dirt tracks or the mountain? Would you ever do things like that?
Uh, basically, the roads in Hawaii is like a dirt track.
Yeah.
If you look at it.
Depending where you go, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
100%.
yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a. We actually have a track in Purupu.
Mm,
Oh,
Oh yeah, so I wouldn't mind doing that.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you go, let me know. I'll come too.
All right,
That'll be a fun time.
that is an open invite.
Yeah, there you go. Everyone else.
on INCRadio too. So
Yeah,
if he
to the
backs out,
entire world.
you gotta show him this video.
Yep, exactly.
There you go. There you go.
We have
And
proof.
inviting to Josh as well. To him, he can come through. But anyway, it's great to have you here, brother, sister. Great to have you here as well. What's your fun fact? We haven't had asked us in this in a while.
Fun fact. I guess I could talk about what I did today.
Yeah, what did you do?
I presented my project that I
Ooh.
made up all by myself.
Wow.
Today in front of big people. Not big people, but like higher up people.
Very cool.
And I had to stand for an hour and a half.
stand
Yeah.
the entire time.
Yeah.
You like presented for an hour and a half.
Not presented, but people just came up to me asking questions about my project.
Mhm.
A lot of stats questions.
Yeah.
Too.
What is your project about?
Sorry, I just got flashbacks from my project is about because for animals, right, for livestock animals, you give them a shoot score. So when they're in the shoot, getting ready to be vaccinated or assessed, they're given a shoot score to assess their behavior. So essentially, I created one for sheep because there's none for sheep yet.
So trend setting, starting. That's something new. You said you created it by yourself.
Yeah,
Your own.
kinda.
Obviously guidance from your mentor.
Yeah, guidance.
Yeah,
But I
figure
did
it
all
out.
dirty work.
Right. Literally. I know you had to get sample for these statistics.
Yeah, a lot of long days, a lot of days spent in the lab,
But also out in the field. Is that
out
right?
in the field.
Right. How many sheeps? Is that correct? How much did you have to?
Well, the samples that I took for my project, it was 100. But you're not gonna believe this, but we were assessing sheep if they were anemic or not, and we did probably over 400 in one day. It took us
400.
about over 12 hours.
That is a lot.
Yeah, so I was, yeah,
On your
it
feet
was
to
a
do it.
really long day. And also after that, because it was in my peel, I had to drive back all the way into town and stay in the lab for another hour and a half.
Wow. That
It's a lot. It's a
intense.
lot, but
right. Wow. So a lot of
well, enough about me though. It's
well,
not
thank you
about
for tuning
me.
into the show about Sister Janae. That's
Yeah,
very
interview
cool. Well,
me next.
yeah. Do it. We'll have you on as a guest next week. Really cool. Wow. So a lot of time you spend on your feet trying to just do your job.
Yeah.
And you know what, Brother Ray, I think your job also entails a lot of
Yeah.
time on your feet,
Yeah.
needing to do your job. Is it long hours like Sister Janae here?
It is extremely long hours.
I bet.
Yeah, so we're on average we're looking at 12 to 14 days
Ooh.
for my position, and our short days are actually 8 hours, 7.5 if you
Mm.
break.
Wow.
So we are in extremely hot conditions, cold conditions,
Wow.
and we don't have a chair in the office.
Oh,
You
no
actually
chair.
sit on milk crates.
Oh, at least you get to sit. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. If you ever see the memes where the chefs are sitting on milk crates, that is us.
That's like bakers sitting on like bags of flour.
Yeah, exactly. exactly.
Yeah. Wow. So do you guys go in early too, just like bakers, or
Yeah. So when I used to open the restaurants,
Mhm.
I used to start 3:30 in the morning,
Oh, wow.
and I sometimes don't finish till like 10, 9 at night.
What time do you sleep?
Wow.
How do you?
A lot of coffee.
Mm.
Well, extremely coffee. I think my longest shift was 17.5 hours. I did that
Wow.
for 4 days straight.
17 and a half hours for those 4 days?
For 4 days straight.
wow. Did we even ask him what his current position was?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
So that's the
Okay.
spoiler for them.
Eh,
Sorry.
spoiler.
There you go. Welcome to INCRadio Radio Pacific. Today we're having table talk with a chef. So that kind of gives it away of what he does. But we're gonna ask that anyway. What is the first question, Sister Janae?
What is your current position in your workplace?
So actually, return to my old position. I was working for Compass Group USA. Uh, my location is Hawaii Baptist Academy. I am one of the lead cooks there. I just came back about a month ago. I'm there to help the chef out, restructuring everything.
Mm.
He called me in, asked me for help, so I applied. A really good friend of mine needed help, so you know, uh, taking a task right now to help him out.
Oh, taking a class to help them out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
that's nice.
Is it okay if I ask what the class is?
Yeah.
So the class is a basic cooking class,
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm also teaching the workers there
Oh.
on food
Oh,
safety, how
yeah.
to properly maintain themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it is a very high-end private school,
Mm.
so they expect nothing but the best for the students there. Really intimate school.
Mm.
The whole class campus size is about 300.
Whoa.
Yeah,
The
so
whole
the
campus?
whole campus is
Wow.
only 300 students.
Is it K to 12 or
It actually that's just for the high school.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have two campuses, elementary and then middle school, high school.
Do you work with both of those schools?
I off and on go back and forth.
I see.
Yeah. So whoever needs help,
Yeah.
I'll go to there.
Mhm. You mentioned before that you would work 17 and a half hours in your other job where you'd have to open the restaurant or
Exactly.
do things. Is this the same way? Is this the same hours?
No, this is actually a lighter task.
Okay.
So
That's great to hear.
I start 5, I finish at 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still,
That's
quite
still
a lot.
early.
It's still early.
But you finish earlier.
Yeah.
So.
Hey.
The hardest thing is waking up at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm
Definitely.
sure. What time do you sleep?
Uh, usually around 11ish.
11ish.
Yeah.
Okay. So 5 hours of sleep, then working for long hours, getting home. How do
Finish
you?
at 1.
Yeah, finish at one. How do you relax? Like, how do you go from work mode to personal mode?
I basically it's hard for me to relax.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm always if I'm not working, I'm with my son.
Mm.
I gotta watch him. I cook and clean up my house as well.
Mm.
Uh, 'Cause my wife works all day, so it has to balance out.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because they're officers as well. They're both fires, so I gotta balance everything out.
Mm.
Make sure everything's sanity is in the house is up to par.
Right.
So knowing that yeah, your days are not like shorter than your other job, but you have so many things in your personal life and you have to wake up early, and as you said, it's very hard to wake up early in the morning. How do you like what motivates you to work in this field?
The satisfaction. It's like the ministers when you preach you the Bible, they're feeding your soul. I'm having a chance to feed you guys, a lot of people. I do watch the students eat. I always ask them what you like, what's their dislike. Always seeing people smiling when they're eating. That's the only true moment you get to have. Especially as cooks, we don't see that often. So we
Mhm.
give the order out and never see them again. But for these kids, we see them on a daily basis. They come through maybe 3 to 4 times a day, getting snacks, getting food, uh, getting water. Uh, a lot of students know me by name. They call me uncle
Oh.
for some reason,
Yeah.
even though I don't look old yet. But yeah, watching these kids eat, enjoying the meal is pretty satisfying.
That's actually really, really deep because we don't know what these kids are going through, and you mentioned it's high school. A lot of different things are happening to them. Their future is ahead of them, especially for the seniors and juniors. A lot of planning is having to do, or a lot of planning is happening during that time, or they just joined the school. They're freshmen. It's a big transition in their life. They're not used to it. They're still getting used to it. They're going through it. Sometimes days are rough, and I know the thing that makes everyone happy is eating a good meal.
Yep.
And that's satisfaction that you have.
Yep. Exactly.
It's really nice. Do they ever come up to you and like, this was the best? I
Oh
love this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So I have one student, can't say his name, but ever since he was a freshman, he actually used to come up and say my meals were excellent.
Oh.
That's
So
really
yeah, and he
nice.
would give suggestions on what his and his friends like.
Oh,
Mhm.
really?
So we'll put them on the menu.
You put it on the menu?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow, that's
the
really
one time they
nice.
were asking for true story.
Mm.
They were asking for prime rib, and
Okay.
we thought about it. Like, what school has prime rib?
Mhm.
So we put that on the menu. Sold out completely fast. We
Wow.
do a lot of suggestions, and if we can fit it within our budget, we'll try to make it happen.
Wow,
So-
and prime rib was in their budget.
Yeah, we actually did lobster.
What?
What?
Yeah, so yeah, we had lobster. We had a good deal on the lobster. We made lobster
Wow.
pasta.
Ooh.
We made lobster sandwiches, the hoagie rolls.
Where
Oh.
is Houston Baptist Academy?
So it's
I mean,
on
not Houston. Sorry, that's the college. Sorry, Hawaii.
Hawaii Baptist Academy is actually there's two locations. Um, Grace Point is in Mililani, which takes care of the preschoolers, so they
Mm-hmm.
ages 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hmm.
And then the new Wanu campus is split. So there's one in New Wanu. So closer on the
Oh.
Pali side, next
Yeah.
to the Filipino consulate,
Right,
or
right,
right behind it.
I see.
It's
Oh,
very
okay.
hidden, very secluded,
Wow.
but it's a beautiful campus.
Wow.
Wow. And you've been working there for, you said you just got back on a month ago,
Yeah,
but you've been working there 2 years. Is that correct?
2 years exactly.
And then you only came back because your friend was like, hey, I need your help.
Yeah, he needed help, so I was like, okay, let's do it.
Nice. That's great. That's great. Did you miss working there? Like,
Yeah, so first of all, the schedule is fine. Monday
Yeah.
to Fridays, no weekends, no
Right,
right.
nights.
Do you have holidays off?
We actually have holidays off.
Nice.
That's
Yeah,
great.
Summer break off and winter
Oh,
break.
wow. Oh, because you're on the school
We're
schedule.
on the school schedule.
mhm.
That's
And we
really
get paid
nice.
for it.
And you get paid for it?
We get paid for
Oh.
it.
Really
Yeah.
cool. I like that. You mentioned this earlier, how you take suggestions. You made lobster, sandwiches, pasta. You also made prime rib. So this isn't something where you know how in public schools they mass feed us.
Yeah.
This is like they order it and you make it for them and you give it, or you have to order ahead.
So my task was making a menu. So we'll plan about 2 weeks ahead.
Mhm.
So you're ordering items as well. So we will advertise it. One day is prime rib day or Tuesday is poke day. By the way, we actually do
Wow.
poke.
Wow.
So yeah, so we will
That's
advertise this
crazy.
out, inform the kids, and we do a lot for that much of kitchen space that we have.
Mhm.
We do a lot.
Wow, gotta utilize that kitchen space.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So it's each day something's different, and you feed it to everyone.
Yes. So
Mm.
we have a menu set that we give them,
Wow.
inform them ahead of time. Sure they know what's happening. We do specials as well.
Really.
A lot of pop-ups.
Mm.
Wow.
Their absolutely favorite one time was our bread pudding.
Ooh, what
pudding.
kind bread pudding?
So I call it unicorn bread pudding, where I actually grabbed all the cereal and just made a bread pudding. And then
Oh, that
just
sounds good.
made Crazy toppings. With
I gotta tell my mom to make that,
Yeah.
or I can make it. I mean,
Totally simple, but the kids go crazy.
wow.
Sounds amazing, and I need that. Please.
You want the recipe? I can give out right now.
Oh,
Oh,
So it's 1-to-1. So one part
Oh,
sugar, one
right
part
now, right now.
eggs,
Mhm.
and one part cream, and you just get whatever bread you want. Let it sit, and you just bake it. Yeah, simple as that.
there you go. That.
wow.
Thank
I
you.
have bread
Yeah,
that I need to use.
stale bread is the best.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have
Oh, bro,
stale
I'm gonna go
bread.
make that
I'm
tomorrow.
gonna make that. Yeah. I just got cereal. So I'm gonna do that. Sounds great. We'll talk about that more next week. We'll see how your bread pudding goes next week.
See.
Next week, yeah.
I
Next
wanted
week,
to
we'll see how
say
it
a
goes.
comment. McDaniel said bread pudding sounds so good right now. Hashtag Eva. I just saw that.
Yeah, I know we talked about this as well in the pre-show. Tasting your own food.
Mm.
Do you ever have those moments where you go, who made this? Oh, this is me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times, especially when I did catering, we would do international wedding events.
Mm.
Oh,
So
wow.
one time we had a very high-end client, Indian dish. I'm Filipino, born and raised Saudi.
Mm.
I've never made Indian food, but
Mm.
the fact that the guests kept coming back and eating it,
Mhm.
so that surprised me because they were asking who was the chef.
Mm.
Out
Wow.
of me, I'm popping out of the kitchen saying, "Hi, it's me," and they were surprised. I made that menu for them. The
What
taste
was it?
Yeah.
So it's Indian food. It's a lot of spice.
Yeah.
But they can pinpoint the accuracy on what spices are there. They were saying like it was so exact. They thought I was from Mumbai.
Wow.
So I was surprised because I couldn't differentiate the taste.
Mhm.
But they were saying it's spot on.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And
I love
you-
Indian food.
Yeah,
It's
Indian food is really good. And you mentioned this as well before, that being able to differentiate the different spices or ingredients that you put in, and knowing what to add or take out, I don't know if you can, is a skill that you build up over time.
Yeah.
How
exactly.
long, like, how was that for you developing those kinds of skills in the kitchen?
So you can learn as much with skill level and textbooks, but
Mhm.
the best way to learn is actually experience.
Mm.
So tasting everything step by step. Like I said to for Josh earlier, salt is not salt. If you're thinking why is salt not salt? Salt can be different. Our salt in America and sugar is completely different in Japan and in Europe. So you gotta play with your skill level and your taste.
Mm.
So
Wow.
for example, salt here, or sorry, sugar here is not exactly everybody thinks it's bad. Actually, our sugar is not processed
Hmm.
as much as in Japan, where it melts in cold water. If you look at our sugar here, it doesn't melt in cold water. It has to be hot water.
Mhm, mhm.
So if we
Oh,
don't
but it melts in cold water in
eat,
Japan?
eat cold water in Japan, it's that refined.
Wow.
Yeah. In
The more
Europe,
you know,
it's
right?
called castor sugar. It's really
Yeah.
fine, like sand, not
Oh.
granular.
Wow. I only know some of this stuff because my cousin, she went to school for baking, so I kind of know it, but I didn't know that like that.
Yeah. So when you look at recipes from international,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta figure out what are they use.
Oh.
So castor sugar is really fine sugar, almost like pixie dust.
Mm.
Our sugar is granulated. In Japan,
Yeah,
literally it just melts in water.
that's
So-
so crazy.
Yeah.
How do you work with it? So like you know that this sugar is from Japan. How do you work with it versus with
Searching for the
okay.
sugar is impossible. So
Mm.
if you ever see Japan sugar in the stores, get it because that is so hard to find.
Mm.
I'm gonna bring that home next
For
time.
castor sugar, you just blend it in a blender,
Mm.
it becomes finer.
Mm.
But the ratio of it is a lot different.
Mhm.
You have to use more.
Oh, I
In
see.
the
Because
Oh,
it's more
recipe.
fine.
Yeah, it's more
shucks.
fine.
Oh, does that change the taste? Does it become more
It
sweeter?
does. It does. So when you're doing by volume and weight, the recipe has to be exact.
Whoa.
Especially in baking.
Yeah. I heard they say cooking is like an art,
Yeah, it's
but
an art.
but baking is like science.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
chemistry and
Mhm.
chemical reactions.
You actually can make cake in a microwave.
Yeah,
There's recipes out there.
I've tried that once.
You got like mug cake or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried
Yeah.
a mud cake.
Have you made it yourself?
Years ago. So restaurant I used to work at, we actually use one of the components.
Hmm.
And we use the microwave to make the cake itself.
And people liked it.
Yep,
Wow.
people liked it. People didn't know it was from a microwave. Yeah.
As long as people liked it. Yeah. That's the main point. That's the main point. Now you mentioned that not only you work as a chef at the school, but you also work a part of the company, Compass Group USA.
Mhm.
Could you tell us? This question says, what are the aims of Compass Group USA?
So Compass Group USA, we provide food services to different outlets, so like hospitals, schools, other facilities that don't exactly have the capability of doing their own. So we're there providing services. So we come in, we feed the kids, but we also like run the snack bar, make the menus, food costs, and everything.
Right.
That way, it's one less burden for them.
Mm. And it actually mentions here that you're an advisor. What is your role as an advisor at Compass Group?
So teaching staff food safety, how to properly handle equipment, cutting skills, make sure everything that we provide as a whole is up to standards for the school and for us ourselves.
I see.
All the recipes, we have to make sure that the kids and the staff are satisfied because we are providing them everything.
Mhm. So you're not only taking classes, but you're also teaching classes,
Yeah.
to them about food safety.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is a food safety thing that regular people like us don't really do that we should do?
Please clean your cutting boards.
So how do we efficiently clean them? Like,
So just regular bleach and water, soap and water.
oh,
That's it. If you have boiling water, put a little bleach in it, and then just dump it in your cutting board, soap and water. That will kill the bacteria.
has to be food grade
Food grade.
bleach. Okay,
Yeah.
just want to put that out
No
there.
scented.
Sorry,
No.
maybe yeah.
Yeah, no scented ones. Clorox is the best.
Okay.
If your cutting board needs to be replaced, please replace it because that's what actually my pet peeve. If I see a cutting board that's stained, looks grimy, I don't hesitate to just put that in the trash. That carries a lot of germs.
I
That's
bet.
true because a lot of food's on there. And
Yeah.
the food's often there. Sometimes, continue.
Do you prefer a wooden cutting board or a
That's fine.
plastic cutting
So
board?
everybody tells me that. So, for
Because I
me,
need to know.
Microplastics.
for me, wooden, only because I can replace that better. And my knives are really made for wooden boards. So wooden boards are softer, but they hold bacteria, but it's easier to replace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted.
There you go.
Replace it once a year at least. Yeah.
Once a year. I gotta go tell my mom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Noted.
I'm going to go throw out my cutting board.
I've
Yeah.
lived here for the
Yeah.
past 3 years.
How big of a cutting board would you recommend for people?
So if you look at your knife, your knife should
I
be
don't
able
have-
to. Okay, this is my knife. It should be from point A to point B, but double the size.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So if you
Oh.
have a 10-inch knife,
Right.
maybe 20.
20-inch board.
Because if your knife slips, you don't want to stab yourself.
That's very true.
Yeah. So if you're
Very
cutting, right, and it slips, you have more leeway to.
Should the cutting board be horizontal or vertical?
To me, it depends on your space.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Because my cutting boards are massive. I'm used to it.
Do you have like the thick ones?
No thin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does it matter too if like they're thick or thin? Or
No, it doesn't matter.
okay.
But wood is the best. Wood is by
What,
far
what is the best? Is there a certain type of wood that you
Get
like?
the bamboo ones.
Bamboo.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And why bamboo?
Bamboo's softer. There's
Okay.
more fibers in it.
Mm.
So when you're cutting it, it doesn't chip your knife as much.
Oh, that's right.
So I
You
have
have to-
really expensive knife.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
As a
I
chef,
bet.
you need. This is all self-bought, provided by the company.
I bought myself. I'm very particular in my equipment.
Mm.
My wife knows that I have
Mhm.
a lot of toolboxes full of equipment.
With your
With
knives.
my knives.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Do you also have like a knife like holder thingy?
no, I have
Oh.
a toolbox.
Oh.
So when you go to
It's-
work, it's
it's
toolbox.
toolbox?
Yeah, it's an actual
Oh.
craftsman's toolbox, 3 drawers. It's about $3,000.
Oh.
For the drawer or for the knife?
For the whole equipment.
Whoa.
Yeah, so 3 sets of knives plus my personal equipment, plus my spatulas and everything.
Right.
My scales.
Wow.
So do you buy this like the quantity because if one thing breaks, you want to be ready to have another? just
Yeah,
in
I don't
case?
like sharp knives. So
Oh,
when,
okay.
my,
Oh, okay.
when my knife is dull, I just replace the grab it.
Oh
That's
wow.
that totally reminds me of brother Erickson Jarvina. He's a DMM guy here, and the way that he likes to roll is buy cameras that can fit with a lens, and you don't remove that lens from the camera. So if you want to use another lens, get another camera and put that lens on top. So for me, I have to change my lenses because I only have one camera. I'm broke, So I'm like here. I take a couple shots. Okay, I'm gonna place my lens in here. For him, he has a whole bag. Camera here. Okay, all right. I want to go wide. All right, camera here.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
That's
I'm,
just-
I'm a knife guy, so I
Yeah.
have different knives for different
Mm. What do you think is the important tools that people should get for their kitchen?
A recipe book.
Oh,
Yeah. So you see an idea, write it down. So I always tell everybody, you have an idea, write it down. You have a suggestion for something, write it down. Have a notepad with you.
mm.
Uh, that's why I have my phone. I take notes on my phone constantly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So when you're working on like a recipe, you say, "Oh, actually, I like this better."
Yeah.
You
When you see something on Facebook or Instagram,
right, right.
write it down.
Yeah.
Get your ideas from it.
Mm.
That's what I do.
That's really cool. Do you ever like working? You already have a set recipe, and then you do something differently, and you're like, you know what? I like this one better.
Yeah.
Is that's okay to do?
Yeah. So you have your whole recipe and then you have your sub recipe after that, where you have your changes and suggestions.
Very cool. Another question that I have. Sorry, this is like rapid fire. I promise we'll get back to
No
it.
problem.
Allergies, very big thing. Kids
Yes.
have many different allergies.
Yep.
How do you deal with that at where you work?
So we have a master list of the child's name and their allergies,
Mm.
and we have a board on the side that has major allergies. So soy, wheat, gluten, shellfish, peanuts, you name it. We have allergies. Mushrooms, we have a tick mark where it shows the dish and what's inside of it. So we make sure that nothing passes through uh, ingredients list that we don't know about.
Mm, that's good. That's good. So, do you try to make it accommodating for everyone, where they all get this meal where it doesn't include any of these, or is it like you make special meals for those specific people?
So upon request, we make special meals. We usually do baked chicken with no allergies, rice and vegetables. It's really good. But for the masses, individually doing it, it's really difficult. That's the same part that we do at school, is we have uh, one set meal for everyone, and then it has all their allergies. And then we do private smaller meals for kids that can't eat shellfish or
Mhm.
can't eat eggs.
Right.
Mhm.
That totally makes sense. Thank you for answering all of our questions. We're not done with the show yet.
Yeah.
We're like halfway through the questions, but thank you for answering us. Those are like personal questions that we just both have. What is the next question that we want to
Oh.
ask him?
What made you interested in working in the culinary field?
So you mentioned it's like art. So when you're cooking and you see your meal, you're visually looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next thing is your smell. So you're going through all your senses. So sight, smell, taste, and actually feel too an emotional
Mm,
sensation that you get. For me, I like spicy. And
mm,
when I eat spicy food, I actually get happy.
yeah.
Because I'm
Ooh.
sweating.
Yeah.
Doing the whew thing. But the sensation of it is really relaxing for me.
What?
Really?
It's
Wow.
crazy.
How is it after you eat it? You know the trips to the bathroom that you have to make.
Oh, that's no issue for me.
Oh,
I
really?
get more the endorphins from the chilies.
Oh, I see. I
So
see.
that natural feeling that you get.
Like adrenaline?
Yeah, adrenaline.
Wow.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, I love spicy food, and I'm not sure if it's the same experience as you, but I love spicy food. I love eating it, especially like spicy ahi. I don't know any other spicy food off the top of my head, but spicy food in general, I really like eating. That's cool. So you enjoy eating spicy food.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy any other kind of food that gives you this that feeling?
Uh, I used to do pastry a long time ago.
Ooh.
So eating different types of pastry, especially the European types
Mm-hmm.
that you rarely see here. You know, everybody knows a baguette or a croissant, but
Right, right.
having a petit fours, the really small pastry
Yeah.
that you don't see
Mm.
often here.
And when you took time off to do your own thing, did you ever sell that? Like sell it to other people?
Everybody asked me in the past, but to be honest, no.
Mm.
Yeah, it's too time consuming.
Oh, I see. I see.
The cost of it.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally doing the rundown of costs, the organization, it's too much for one person.
I see. Okay. Well, uh, if there ever comes a time where you want to do that, go see him. and then we'll have you back on again, and then we'll talk about that. But I assume with having going back, helping your friend, working this job that you have, you find a lot of enjoyment in it, right? And you see a lot of joy or have a lot of joy helping these kids, right? Uh, was that always your goal from the beginning? Like from the moment that you began journeying in the culinary food, was your goal always to make other people happy?
Yeah, exactly. Putting that smile on people's faces when they're eating, even a simple meal. And that little smile, that little twinkle in your eyes, for that one moment you're giving them happiness.
Mm, I like that. I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. I know for as members of the Church of Christ, that's what we do a lot. We always strive to help other people in any way that we can. If we not even if it's a person in need, anyone. Hey, want this? You need help with this? We're always glad to help them, and it's really cool to see that. Uh, well, we know as a chef, it's a very service-driven industry. So it's great to see that your point of being in the culinary field is to provide a good service, especially for even to your own family. You want to make sure that the kitchen's clean,
Mhm.
and how do they feel about your culinary expertise at home?
The running joke with my wife and my son is, what you want to eat?
Mm.
And they never have the answer for it.
Really?
So the hardest part for me is, I'm jokingly like, I can cook anything, but they can't decide on what they want to eat. It's a constant circle that never ends.
Wow.
Even if I do like pre-planning,
Mm.
it never follows through. You want something else, or
There
you
was
can't
something else
decide.
day of, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what is your, because you make these amazing meals for different people. What is your personal comfort food? Simple, easy to make that you can just whip up really quickly.
It has to be. I'm gonna have to say this, but instant ramen, the
Ooh,
Japanese ones.
yeah.
Oh
Not
yeah,
not the one you microwave, but the one you actually build yourself.
Mm,
I
Yeah.
love that one.
Yeah, so you have your egg, with the
Mhm.
cheese if you're fancy.
ooh.
You know, yeah, a ramen, I would go for any day.
Mhm.
What is your personal recipe for that?
So I do a marinated egg,
Marinated
Soy
egg.
marinated.
so I marinate egg, but I do two different things about it.
Mm.
So I do a basic teriyaki sauce, but I add chili oil
Mm.
and I put a kogarashi in, so it makes it more spicy.
Mm. You
What's
need the spicy.
togarashi?
Kogarashi is a Japanese season mix. So there's like three different types of chilies in there, plus sesame seeds.
Mm.
Oh wow.
And then that's in addition to your own like
Own stuff.
chili oil.
Yeah.
What else do you put? Do you make your own stock?
No, it's too long.
Right, because that's the instant ramen the
Yeah.
packet that you. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I heard making like your own stock. It's a very long process.
12 hours.
Yeah, because you have to like essentially just make it from
Yeah,
scratch,
you make it from scratch.
and you gotta add so much seasonings and
Yeah, clarifying the water.
yeah.
And there's a lot of things that can go wrong. You boil water too hot, broth's not clear. You know, you put something wrong and it tastes different from what you're used to.
So you really got to be precise when it comes to making
Yeah.
stock.
Yeah, you can't just throw everything in there.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Oh, you mentioned that as a chef, right? You all have your own tasks, and as a chef, in general, you also delegate different tasks to other people. Is that correct? For you as a chef, uh, working as a chef, how is it delegating different tasks to these cooks?
So organizing your schedule is really difficult. Uh, everybody's not the same
Mm.
versus in skill level and in production wise. So you have to give your tasks to everybody accordingly how their skill level is.
Mhm.
One person takes 3 hours to make this. Of course, you want them to have ample amount of time to have deadlines. In between something going wrong or missing. You have to delegate on their task levels and what they can do in a set amount of time. So organizing your priorities to support.
Mm. And besides that, what else do you feel like overseeing your team? Like, what did it teach you?
So what was the question?
What do you feel like besides having to delegate those tasks according to their skill level? What else do you feel like managing your team taught you?
Uh, Basically their emotions as well.
Mm.
Some people are stressed out
Mhm.
doing one task for 3 hours straight. I like to give them, multiple options. Hey, you want to do this today and have this other person do it. Make sure, they're well blended.
Mhm.
Of course, cross training. Not everyone can do one thing constantly and be master of it. I like to
Yeah.
teach everybody, you know, so everybody knows. So if somebody's absent that day, they can pick up the load
Yeah.
and go
Mm.
forward with it.
Right.
Yeah, I like the idea of cross training because it's good to at least have knowledge in many different things than to just have knowledge in one thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to help the everyone else, but still being good at it as well.
Mhm. There you go. And I know we're running out of time with our show. Want to ask the last question for him?
Oh, sorry, yeah. So do you have any memorable stories about being a chef?
So we did many, many years ago. Actually, I was with a brother as well. Uh, I used to work for Warren Motors, Waikiki.
Mm.
We did Barack Obama and their family.
Whoa.
So behind the scenes, I was actually prepping their dinner meal. It was actually their New Year's Eve dinner meal. So when everyone was partying out, I came in 3 in the morning on New Year's Eve, prepped up everything. Secret Service was actually there watching me.
Mhm.
Wow.
Makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
Were they wearing black suits?
No. They're actually wearing lab coats.
Oh, lab
So,
coats.
Yeah, they were actually probing everything what I was making.
Did they taste it too?
No, they're not.
Oh, they're not.
But they were
Wow.
checking everything, watching me as I was going.
Yeah.
You know, they were basically Hawkeyeing me the
Yeah.
whole time.
Which totally makes sense.
Yeah.
They're
Wow,
doing
they
their
wore
job.
lab coats? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's really interesting. When you say you taste, the food that you make, did you still get to do that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And then did you like have to clean the spoon before you read?
So I use a plastic spoon. One time,
Mm.
so taste it, I'll chuck it away.
Totally makes
Gloves, I
sense.
use about 2 boxes of gloves every day.
Whoa.
I touch something, I change.
Yeah, because of food safety, right?
If you ever
Yeah.
look at my hands, they're like soft.
Mm.
Because I keep washing my hands. My nails are always trimmed pretty short.
Wow.
You really
Yeah,
have to be hygienic.
Yeah.
Would think food safety is very big, especially in the kitchen.
Very cool. Really cool story.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
very
unforgettable.
memorable.
When was this? What year?
This was 2011.
2011.
Wow.
So we just opened up the restaurant. Mom was popular back then. It was his second term.
Mhm.
He was coming to the islands every year. Stayed basically throughout the whole December.
Mm.
So we did his dinner at the Kaidola Residence. He came to the restaurant 3 times. All that prior was all planned out.
Mm.
Wow. That's cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, so for a good while I couldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
get to
right.
meet him?
Personally, no, but I did get a thank you letter. I have a box of chocolate from him.
That's
Oh.
nice.
So with the presidential seal and everything,
Whoa.
thank you letter. And I was saying earlier, the personal chef requested for 2 of the recipes, which I gave to her.
Mm.
No issues.
That's
That way she can make it there as
Yeah.
well.
Right, right. that
Wow.
makes sense. That's
That's
so cool.
yeah.
Having to give your own recipe to their executive chef, how did you feel?
To me, a recipe is not my recipe. Like I
Mm.
say,
For
"Oh, how do
everyone.
you make this? I'll give you the recipe.
Mhm.
It's how you want to proceed it.
Yeah.
You can change something and make it your own.
Mm.
So if you want to know something or how to make something, I'll give it to you. There's no trade secrets in the restaurant. Yeah. If you want to know how to make something, I can give you the recipe.
I like
Yeah.
that. Recipes for everyone.
Yeah, recipes is exactly for everyone.
Because food brings joy, and you want to bring joy to other people,
Exactly.
so you give that recipe too. I like that. There you go. Brother Ray, thank you so much for being here on the show today. Sister Jana, thank you for co-hosting with us. Really cool. Your entire job is amazing. Your stories are very cool, and it's inspirational hearing about like what your motivates you to do your current line of work. And you know what else is cool? Activities inside of the district. Because upcoming on April 27th, we have our CFO Day and our band together. CFO Day, I know we cook a lot of food. Could we see you cooking some bread pudding for us, perhaps?
Possibly.
Oh, he's gonna have.
I'll
his own
fly
song.
back. I'll fly
Yeah.
back for
I'll
the
be
bread
here,
pudding.
ready. I'll just be eating the bread pudding, and that's it. But we'd love to see you there, Brother Ray. We'd love to see all of you there as well. But again, thank you, Erwin, for being here. Thank you, Brother Ray. Thanks to Janae. Thank you, me. You're welcome for being here and tuning into INC Radio Hawaii Pacific. We have a lot of things to thank, or rather, a lot of people to thank. But before that, do you have any special shout outs you'd like to give?
So actually, my friend's fiance does INC radio in the Philippines, and
Really?
it's her birthday today.
Oh,
Oh,
happy
So
birthday.
shout out to Sister Galore, the Philippines. Sorry, I don't know exactly your locale,
It's okay.
but happy birthday to you, sister, and hope to see you soon because they're getting married, I believe, sometime this year.
Oh, exciting.
Congratulations and happy birthday. We'll say happy birthday until you ready. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. There you go. Woo. And then we'll send them the link and then they can see it. That's wonderful. But thank you again for being here. That was my third thank you. And now we're going to go to the special thank yous. Sister Janae, would you like to take that part?
Yes, a special thanks to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our CFO Coordinator and CEBSI President, Brother Angelo Errani Manalo. Also, thank you to our District Minister, Brother Jem H. Baitan, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Ador Apostol, and our CFO Overseer, Brother Brandon Pacheco. And also, thank you for always watching INC Radio here in Hawaii Pacific.
There you go. Thank you again for tuning in to INC Radio Hawaii Pacific. We'll see you again next week. Goodbye, good night, and aloha.